Hello. Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to the fifth episode. And there's no music. Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to the fifth episode. This might be song. Testing out some tech. Good afternoon. I think I might have. Still got to figure out this layout stuff, but I think I might have turned off the mic earlier. So while you had music, there was no mic. There's no voice coming through. So let's see. Today I'm going to be last preseason run number 4. I did some quick 7-minute pencil head sketches. Today we are going to be doing one single sketch and probably at some point inking it if there's time. I'm only going to be spending about 45 minutes. Let's see. No, 45, 00. Let's do 45. Forsaken, thank you for the follow. Forsaken 1134. My setup here is blocking my view. But thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. This has been a very exciting week for me. Our new book came out, Teen Titans number 20. This is a book written by Adam Glass, drawn by myself and Marcello Maiolo. And we did a couple store signings this week. One at Heidi Ho's in Santa Monica, Heidi Ho Comics, and one yesterday at DJ's Universal in Studio City, Los Angeles. Homemade watermelon slush. I might be burping later and or farting. So welcome to the stream. Today is the 5th installment of the Preseason Run. Preseason Run is where I'm beginning to learn about streaming, trying to get all the technical issues out of the way. Today I think the music got going, but then there was no mic, but I actually remember to turn the mic on. There was no music. Then when I turned the music, there was no mic. And I'll figure it out when I rewatch it. Anyways, welcome. So I think today's again going to be a long stream format sketching. I'm trying to do one figure. I think this weekend I had a bunch of signings at Heidi Hosen at DJ's Universal. One of the most popular characters from the new Teen Titans book that's out right now is a girl named Crush. So I think maybe today I'll do a Crush sketch. Let me see if there is a need to refocus. And again, you guys, throughout this stream, if you happen to see any technical issues that you would like to shout out and help out, the more help, the merrier. This is my home studio setup. You can see in back of me is downtown LA. And it's quiet today because it's Sunday. There's no construction going on. Hey, Maelstrom's Art and Sean Chen. Hey, Sean Chen. Nice to see you online. Thank you for joining. We have about 9 viewers right now. That's excellent. Soon to be 10. Anyways, there was a request from the last stream that I should burp and fart more, so I will try to accommodate that. But let me, what was I going to do? I was going to turn on my focus app for the camera. Let's see if I might be able to. It should come out okay. Some of the pencils are a little light, but in any case, I hope you guys enjoyed your weekend. For me, Sunday, it's Sunday afternoon, about 3:30, 3:37 my time in Los Angeles on the West Coast. To me, this is actually Monday. Well, it's the first day of the week. Usually, I might take Saturday off. Yesterday, I did a little sketching, but not much. So today, typically, is my first day of the work week. I will be working the rest of the day. Actually, I might go play basketball after this stream today. Again, today's show is only going to be 45 minutes or so. I'm trying to time myself, to get a hold, get used to drawing, while I'm talking, but also just to get a gauge of how fast I'm able to work while I'm talking. Typically, much faster drawing if I'm talking to myself in my head or talking to the birds. You might hear the birds a little bit later on. They are right now downstairs. They are free today. They are flying about in the studio. You might see them fly in the background. Don't be afraid. They will know. Maybe hope they'll land on my shoulder. That would be great. If they land on my shoulder, we will have a parallel prize. I'll give out something. Maybe some original art. So you guys, hey, what's up, Travis? How are you doing? Travis is right now disguised as Sean Chen. Travis is Sean's son. How you doing, Travis? Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. It's summertime, so no school, or are you in summer school, Travis? Thursday, I actually spoke to a group of kids visiting from China, summer camp at UCLA. They are here for the summer, getting acquainted with American culture. It's actually kind of fun. There was a kid that reminded me of you, Travis. So, Sunday's usually the first day of the week. Right now, we're going to start off with a sketch. For me, this is going to be a kind of a warm-up. I'm probably going to be taking around 5 o'clock, going to play basketball for a little bit. Come back, maybe eat dinner. Wow, can you hear the birds? Is there any reverb? Can you guys hear me talk twice? I hope not. I hope I've eliminated that already. I have my checklist, and I followed it. Travis, can you hear me talk double? Like, double? Yes, no, maybe? So as you can see, this is drawing Crush. She is perhaps the hottest character in comics right now. Crush is created by Adam Glass, Jorge Jimenez, and I guess I'm getting kind of co-creator credit as well. That's great. But the initial character design was done by Jorge. And I've kind of refined it for the book. So there's been some minor revisions here and there. And do we have any artists out there today? Anybody that also draws? I can hear the birds really clearly in the background, but they're downstairs. Sometimes when I draw, I can see the whole image. Yes. Maestras M. Art. Masters MR, you can hear double, or you can hear the birds. Okay, anyways, I'm going to keep drawing, and if there's double, I'm sorry. I will try to correct that. This is why we are... hello, and welcome Jim Chung. We got two extremely talented, popular comic book artists online. Sean Chen and Jim Chung. I don't really like this sketch. That's another thing. When you're talking... Oh, okay. No echo, just the birds. Okay. The birds are the co-host, although they are not really getting... They're not too good in terms of understanding that there's Bernard time and then there's bird time. And bird time... see, they're craving for attention. That's what happens when you have pets. Beavis and Butthead are my two birds. They are the co-hosts for the show. They can be part comic relief, part bird poop relief, part gibberish, bird chatter in the background. This is not coming out very good. I'm going to have to restart. This happens a lot. I tend to erase quite often when I'm drawing. I'm not talking to anyone even. There's nothing wrong with the face too. I just thought I'd start over. Well, that's what I said, Sean, earlier. If the birds or one of the birds perch on my shoulder during live stream, everybody wins. Oh, they just flew over here. Everybody wins something. I have some stuff to give away too. So, uh-oh. And now they're on. Now they're flying. I have a bunch of like these beams because of the loft. Don't worry, this is a Nerf gun. I'm only shooting the laser pointer at them. whenever they land on one of those beams, because there's fireproofing foam. You can kind of see it behind me up here, and they like to peck at it, and it's not good. I don't want them to eat any of that stuff. Now, if they land on the chair behind me, it doesn't count. They have to land on my shoulder. So if they land on my shoulder, everybody wins something. And actually a physical thing, I might give away like a print or something. So whoever's online at that time, when you have to text something, I'm going to give you like a 1 or 2 minute window. Here's the other thing. If this live streaming of artwork doesn't work out, I can always have a nature channel, live stream nature channel on Twitch. And we can try to maybe do some bird tricks. Some way, somehow, we try to make this Twitch work. For you and for me. Well, Jim Lee is the best. So if anything happens to Jim, Sean just wrote that Jim Lee restarts his drawings half a dozen times sometimes. So if it happens to Jim, it can happen to if it happens to the best of us. Some of us should not be too frustrated. I mean, I've started pages where I have to redraw the whole thing, even after it's already laid out, and I'm drawing it on the board. There's just something about it. Let's see if I'm missing anything out. Maestro. Do you draw as well? Are you an artist? You're here. We have the company of... Hey, there's another Xian. Both Xians. This is another record setter. Now, if there's a third Sean that signs on at the same time, the 3 Seans win something. How about that? I hear the birds, but it's in stereo, so it's really confusing in terms of... This mic is only picking up one direction. Oh, they're over there. They're on the other side of the drawing table. If you're just streaming, if you're just coming online, we have a special today. The birds are out and free and loose. And by birds, I mean birds like parrots. I have 2 pet parrots. They're about this big. They're flying around. Right now they are on a couple of canvases. If they fly and land on my shoulder, either shoulder would work. Right now, either shoulder. Everybody wins something. Something just happened. I just heard like a... Oh, thank you. Somebody hosted me. Sean hosted me. Thank you so much, Sean. Sean Noss. Right? If they poop on my shoulder, then nobody wins. Everybody loses, including me. Right? So that's another thing. That's a little caveat here. The birds can land on my shoulder. If they land on my shoulder, everybody wins a print. All right? I have some prints. But if the birds land on my shoulder, and during the time that they're on my shoulder, they poop on my shoulder, nobody wins anything. I think that's fair. I think that's actually probably more than fair, right? So when you're on there, you want them to land on the shoulder, but then you don't want them to do number 2. And the birds, I find, they don't do number 1 or just number 2. They just do number 1 and number 2 at the same time. It's a combination of like bird pee and bird poo. There's no, hey, I just got to take a leak kind of thing. Do any of you have birds out there? Yes, I can give advice. What kind of advice would you like, Sean? Life advice? Art advice? advice on basketball, give you some basketball pointers. I used to be a college, NCAA college head coach when I was 24. So right now, I'll talk a little bit about this drawing process. This is just sketching, so I'm just kind of figuring out the form. Here, also the attitude needs to match the character. This is Crush. She is one of the new Teen Titans. New Teen Titans number 20 came out this week. It is a soft relaunch. Well, I guess, I don't know, people are saying that. I don't know if that's the right term for that. But we have a new team put together by Damian Wayne, Robin. And the new team last stream did 6 sketches of the new members. You guys can watch that on repeat. It's repeated on here on Twitch for 14 days. And then, but it's also uploaded onto my YouTube channel, so you can watch that for quite a long time, until whenever. And the new team, we have returning members: Kid Flash, Wallace West, and Red Arrow. Oh, see, okay, that's what I was asking earlier too. I guess the camera, I might have to I might need to refocus the camera settings each time. That's another, I'm gonna have to do that before I stream, I guess. Oh, okay. If you bear with me for a few seconds, let me open up going to open up. I have 2 screens on my computer. I have 2 computers at home, well, more than 2, but right now I have I'm sitting in front of my main drawing desk. This is where I do all the hand drawing on paper. I have my light box. I hesitate to show you guys because it's messy as hell. It's my laptop, 17-inch MacBook Pro. I have my drawing table. I have another older monitor in front of me. This is usually for when I need to pull up references or drawings that I've done before. And then on the other side of the studio, you can kind of see has my computer set up with my Wacom and my iMac. So I have 2 stations. One is the hamburger station, and the other is the French fry station. Can't ever mix the 2. And I'm still waiting to get some more equipment. I should have another webcam arriving in the mail this coming week. This will replace what I'm using right now to shoot me is my iPhone. So if you're trying to text me and you can't, all right? I have advanced settings, autofocus off now. All right, and I have to adjust it slightly. To get that perfect. There we go. Got it. Okay. I think this should be good. That's another note to add. Let me write this down on my checklist. And it's not that hot today, so I don't have the AC on, I just have a fan. Let's see. Oh, Sean. I'm sorry to hear that. Let's see. I'm sorry to hear that. Sometimes these things happen. I'll try not to disrespect you. How did he disrespect you? Did he call you a name? Did he make fun of your work? Doesn't matter though. At the end of the day, maybe they're having a bad day. Hello, definitely not Dylan. Welcome to the stream. If you haven't noticed, today I'm doing kind of a sketch of Crush. It's a new character from Teen Titans. Chang, you want to talk about it? We can. Sometimes also maybe it was misinterpreted. Maybe they meant it as a joke. Maybe they feel so comfortable with you that they were kind of ribbing you, and in that process, maybe you didn't think you were as close as he thought you guys were, and that the joke, which to that person might have been kind of just a little bit off humor or a little bit harder than anticipated. So this is Crush. If you're just joining us, thank you. Welcome to the stream. Today is preseason episode 5. Preseason is what I would like to term as preseason. I'm just trying stuff out, working out some different tech issues. I should have, ordered another webcam. You can see the iPhone. It works okay. It's pretty clear. But I can't use the full screen of the iPhone because if I slide it over, you're going to see the video, photo, whatever tabs. And even right now, you can kind of see the edge. If I switch to video, this is a little bit better. But then you have the timeline up here. On Instagram. This is on Instagram or it was on Twitch? Do you think Sean Chen and I would know who this person was? Anyways, last week also, jumping on to another, not trying to brush past this. Again, hey, I can also completely understand too, because as an artist, did you hear my stomach? Did that pick up my stomach? Oh, a little hungry. We work in isolation. Comic book artists, when you go to a show, it's a lot of fun because you're always around a lot of people and it's very exciting, but this is the actual normal day life where there's nothing around. I have 2 pet birds that just chirp nonstop. And you're by yourself. You're thinking about yourself. When you're thinking by yourself and your head is going, and for me too, now when I'm drawing, a lot of this is more technical than creative. When I'm doing layouts, I need almost total silence, maybe with some music, but no podcast, nothing going on in the background, no audiobooks. At this stage, when I'm drawing, I can talk a little bit. My head does not need to be completely occupied, and in fact, this becomes more of a technical application of skill sets. Definitely not Dylan. I hope that did not result to anything else. The ASMR, stomach growling. I'm just finding out about some of that stuff. And this segment brought to you by definitely Definitely Not Dylan is the ASMR version where you have to whisper into it and make sure that you talk, and you can kind of hear my stomach growl. But definitely Not Dylan. The donations are not pouring in. Please. Am I not whispering at the right level? Yes. Okay, Sean Chen has requested a fart from me. ASMR, ASRM, fart. It's not coming out, Sean, and my head is turning red. Oh no, I can't squeeze anymore. If I do, it might not be. I'd have to end the stream early. It did result in a stomach growl. Did you hear that? We have another 26 seconds left of the special ASMR segment. Not only will you get to see artwork created, but you guys can create something too. I think I'll ink this piece today. How about that? Oh, I just felt a drip of sweat go down my torso. Sean, you should keep drawing, yes. Can we see this? This is focused. Oh, do you hear the stomach? Okay, alright. That was brought to you by Dylan, Definitely Not Dylan. Thank you so much for tuning in for the ASMR portion of this live stream. As we continue, I might add that as a feature. Again, Los W. Angeles. Wo Ho Len. Wo Hen Len. Oh, you're cold. Well, I'm hot. It's hot out here in LA. That's why I have watermelon slushy that I brewed. This is brought to you by the Watermelon Association of America. $4.99 for an entire watermelon at Ralph's this week. Delicious. All right, Sean, thank you for stopping by. Mr. Sean Chen was in the house. He's leaving. Sean Chen, artist on comic book artist on. He's doing a bunch of covers right now for. Who are you doing covers for? Dynamite? Xenoscope? More notable, Sean and I started in the comic book industry back in the early 90s. Beavis is calling out the Butthead. So again, if you hear the two birds in the background, they're the co-hosts for the show, Beavis and Butthead. Not the cartoons, they're birds. Two parrotlets. I have two pet parrotlets. They're brothers. One is upstairs, the other is downstairs. The one that's upstairs is calling to the other one downstairs to come up. And again, for this stream, there's definitely a special. No alcohol in the slushy. I don't drink if I'm working. It makes the artwork too good. And so, again, if you're just joining us for this stream, if the two birds, there has to be both of them, but eventually if one lands on my shoulder, the other's going to come, because that's how they roll. If the two birds land on either shoulder, everybody wins a print from me. However, during the time that they're on my shoulder, well, everybody, and I'll know because I'm going to ask for you guys to post something on the chat, and then I'll write down your names, and then those will be the people within a minute or so that will get something. However, during the time that they're on my shoulder, if they take a dump, if they poop, then nobody wins, especially me. So there is a little bit of a, I guess, a rule that we have to follow. This looks like it's ready to ink, although typically, I think usually I'd be drawing her a little bit thicker, a little bit wider in the book. Crush is Lobo's daughter. Lobo had a kid sometime. We know who it is, but you guys don't know who it is, who the mother is. But Lobo had a daughter, and now she is in Teen Titans. Okay, this looks like it's about there. I think I still like having her arm like this, as opposed to you're like, oh, I just drew a whole arm. It looked all right. I had it kind of going there, but now it's no good. I'm erasing it again. This arm needs to be a little higher. Typically, I do all the drawings on the back of the board. Like she's flexing. Because Crush needs to have a little bit of attitude. She doesn't just pose for anybody. When she's posing, there's some kind of... I got the perfect drawing for you. Yes. So, the new Teen Titans out this week. Little shameless self-promotion here. Draw, see what it looks like without the coat. I've also been drawing her coat as if she is a middle linebacker. So the shoulder pads, the shoulder are kind of like shoulder pads. Thank you, LW Los Angeles. Just saw that post. I gotta make sure I keep reading the chat room. New Superman. One of my favorite projects in my career. As you might know, I did all the variant covers for New Superman, except for one. Number 3. I did 1, 2, and then 4 through 24. I'm going to tell you, the chances of the birds landing on my shoulder are like really good. Because anytime they stop doing their thing downstairs, they usually hang out, chillax a little bit. Then when they're hungry, they fly upstairs. Because there's a cage over here to this side that has the food in it. I only leave food in one area. And then when they go in, I lock the cage. They eat their food. They hang out. Afterwards, they have food coma. And then they poop. And then I allow them to fly around again. Otherwise, if I let them out right after they eat, they're just going to poop everywhere. And I got to go clean it up. So, I have not drawn Zoom. What is Zoom? I don't know Zoom. This looks like it's... So later on, you can, if I look around, if I'm going to pull back and you see my drawing table, there are eraser shavings, bits everywhere. So much so that I can probably use some of that and scoop it back onto the paper. One of the tricks that I learned when I was really young drawing was that I used to draw like very, very hard, like a lot of pressure onto the pencil onto the paper. And I had a tutor once, and she was like, "Look, stop not only is it the control of the pencil or pen in terms of the directional, do the actual line, but it's also the pressure. If you draw so hard, so much pressure right away, unless you're making that perfect line, which is almost next to impossible. Uh-oh. Parallel prize time. That's one. That's Beavis. Oh! Almost, guys. See, you got to get both of them on my shoulder to win a prize. That's just one. That's just one. They might come back. They might come back. You guys almost got a print. Almost. How exciting is that? And you got to be on within that minute or so of them perching on my shoulder. That's when I'm going to call for everyone to post something on chat, and whoever's here gets a print. And right now I'm covering shipping, which is, I got a ton of stuff to send out, so you're lucky. Otherwise, I hate going to the post office. Sorry, Donnie, if you're I owe this guy another piece I have to send out. So what was I saying? Oh yes, so pressure, pencil pressure. No, you don't get banned. If the birds poop on my shoulder, you just don't win the prize. It resets. The thing with parallel poop is that parallel poop is because they don't have large intestines. The poop doesn't smell. It's like this little green, soft thing that it's almost like a moisturizer if you really wanted to apply. But on clothing, I'd have to. It's different. But if it's on skin, a little moisturizer, sunscreen, it doesn't smell at all. Not that there's any bird poop right now, but it's almost organic. It's like an algae kind of thing. Although algae smells. So anyways, there's no large intestines, so the food doesn't sit inside their bodies too long. It processes the nutrients, and then within, I don't know, short amount of time, 15, 20, 30 minutes, they typically poop it out. Anybody out there have pet birds? You want to chime in on that? Am I providing an accurate representation of birds? See, I think they're hungry now. They haven't eaten for a little bit. Let's see, they're coming back up here. Go ahead. Good boy. Look. Butthead, look at the screen. Can you see yourself? Let's see. Come on. Come on my shoulder. There you go. Alright, that's one. I'm helping you guys here. I'm helping you guys. That's one. Let's see if the other one, you can kind of see the other one on the bottom of the screen. There's a little play set for them. Come on, Beavis. Don't you want to make everybody happy, Beavis? Beavis is a very independent thinker. Butthead, he will eat anything you put in front of him. Beavis is a little bit more skittish. And if you see the bird go like this and then squat down, that means they're about to poop. So please warn me. But then again, if you don't tell me the bird poops, you still get the prize, and then I'll find out later after the stream. So pencil pressure. Also, you still notice there's a lot of shavings still left on the board. Oh, there goes Butthead. Sorry about that. All right, well, you got to have both of them on my shoulder at the same time, either shoulder. So eraser shavings, usually I keep them on the board because they might help just get rid of some of this excess pencil art here or there. Okay, 4:15. I'm about to wrap this up. you guys are gonna have another. And even when I'm doing pencils, I try to be as light as possible. I don't go too dark unless it is strictly a pencil drawing. Then, and the easiest way to check also your drawings, typically I draw on the back. So Hyperspace Beast. Okay. Hyperspace Beast asked a question. Typically you don't see me holding the pencil. Yeah, I hold my pencil like I hold chopsticks, really. Chopsticks being a little bit longer. I think maybe the thumb is at a different angle, slightly, but it's a little bit fuller. I mean, if you see some people, if you've seen like different people draw, wow, one of the craziest guys is Eric Larson. I think he's like, maybe he's left-handed and he's like this. That's crazy. I mean, tremendous artist. But how different people hold their pencils or pens. Yeah. Anyway, so what I'm doing here is typically I usually draw on the back of the boards. Right. So on the back of the boards, I'll do actually what I did on the front usually is the back of the boards. And yeah, I can do that here. I'll do that for this one. So usually on the back of the boards, I'm drawing in a reverse. I'll put like a little arrow up top, remind me. And then on the front, this is where I will actually ink the original art page. So I'm using the previous drawing as a guide. And you can self-correct. If you ever take any of your drawings before, pencil drawings, ink drawings, and you hold them up to the mirror, and they look like a little skewed, that's usually because you're drawing at maybe at a slightly different angle, you're sitting up, sitting down, and everyone happens to fall into that trap. Well, most everyone. I happen to fall into that trap all the time. And this is a great way to eliminate that. Hyperspace Beast. Actually, you know, I should be promoting some other stuff. I have a Discord channel. If you'd like to join, I don't know how you can. Just look for my name on Discord. I guess do a search, The Bernard Chang. All of my social media is The Bernard Chang, somehow in there. It's just The Bernard Chang, whatever. Twitter.com/The Bernard Chang. Instagram.com/The Bernard Chang. Please give it a follow. But on Discord, I guess a lot of people with Twitch stream have also a concurrent Discord channel, and you can post up artwork on there at the same time. So then we can do a whole thing if you wanted to show. This is almost like an Axel F. If you wanted to also show some artwork or pictures and stuff at the same time, it might be a little bit helpful too. I'm still trying to figure that out, how the Discord channel works. And if I'm doing the reverse of that, I think her hair would be different. We are coming to the end of this, close to the end of this. I'm going to tighten up this pencil, and then I'll try to sign back on or stream again. Hoping maybe Tuesday. I'm hoping maybe Tuesday I'll stream again. We can finish this piece inked. I'm hoping the birds are downstairs now too, so I will keep the same game going. If the birds land on my shoulder during any part of this stream or the next stream, everybody wins. You win, you win, that person over there wins, everybody wins. But you have to post on the chat. A print. I have some prints left over. I have some new prints. I have some old prints. And for the first few contests, I will cover shipping. In the continental US, if it's international, unfortunately, it's kind of pricey. But if I can put it in an envelope, I can mail it to you, a couple of bucks, happy birthday, Merry Christmas. Just don't expect it anytime soon, though. You'll get it, but it might take a little bit. So usually I'll go back onto this drawing again. Yeah, because if I'm drawing on the back of the board, I will be a lot messier. And this is what I should have done to begin with. But I got into so much of this refinement sketching drawing. Typically, on the back of the board, I will have figured out. That's why I wasn't happy to begin with. So I'm not drawing all this this kind of foundation drawing. It's being too tight, too quick. Typically when I'm drawing, especially interior art or cover art, I like to do this kind of drawing first, so that I have a better sense of the musculature, the anatomy, and then if any of you have ever been to a convention, I usually bring some of my original art out to the conventions. You can take a look at, I'll show you some of the back drawings. Everything else in front of me right now is new Teen Titans stuff, so I don't think I can really show any of this. This hasn't really come out. This was a previous page 22 from the book that just came out. You can kind of see how loose I am. This is not actually the finished one because I didn't end up drawing on the front. I relayed it out. So if we are going to do the same to this, I like to get a little bit of a torsion or twist in the torso. It gives a little bit of a movement. Right now, these are all still 2D drawings, flat. And anytime you can give a twist, a sense of torsion to the torso, I feel like it gives the drawing a little bit more energy. See, I was going to draw the birds up here. These birds, that'd be funny if they had, I should just stream ASMR with the birds. Right? Is that definitely not Dylan? We're gonna get off on two birds on ASMR? Is that possible? Because I would think the chirping is kind of sharp. So we are not even, we're just going all loose here. And by going loose, you can map out, make sure everything is in proportion to one another. Hyperspace Beast. Discord. Let's see. Discord. You know what I think I can do is they give me like a link, right, to add people can add onto. So let me pull that out. Once I figure that out, we are almost at a completion point for this drawing. Here's the other thing, is that the light box, do you guys see that gradient line on the light box? It's not the best thing, right? It's kind of like a slowly moving, I'm trying to figure that out, get rid of it. But this is preseason. We are working out all the tech stuff so that when we do go live, in theory, there should be less mistakes made. So, thank you for, oops, wrong password. I'm entering my Discord channel right now, and I hope I have wrong password. Where's everybody based? Is anybody from LA? Anybody from New York? Okay, Discord should be up. Let me try to get a link for you guys. How do I find the invite link? Invite people. That definitely. Life is Destiny is following me now. Thank you so much, Life is Destiny. I feel like it was meant to be for you and me. Copy. Okay, here is the link to join my Discord. Yay! Figured it out. Not bad for an old man. Hey Travis, how was dinner? What did you guys have? I have not eaten dinner yet. I have not eaten lunch yet. So I am very hungry. Thus, the reason for my stomach growling earlier in the stream. Travis, you have the luxury of living in New York City, one of the best cities ever for pizza, which happens to be one of my favorite foods. Just thinking about it makes me hungry. Pasta, even better. I might be in New York at the end of September, early August. I am not sure yet. I am considering coming out to New York for the New York Comic-Con, but it is not definite yet. So if I do come out, definitely we're going to hang out. I still want to take you to that ice cream place down by where you guys live. That place, ice cream too. Pizza and ice cream are the two things I can eat all day. And so we are coming to a close. Sean Noss, I draw every day because of work. I have to draw something every day. Life of a comic book artist, especially if you're drawing a monthly book, you have to set your own schedules, set your own timing. There might be one day of the week where I don't draw, but for the most part, because it is such a time-consuming profession, you have to draw everything. If your intention is to become a professional artist, you need to get used to drawing a lot. I was actually talking to a young comic book artist I don't remember if it was on the last stream or if it was in person or somewhere else. But they had asked me about how to stay motivated. Sometimes they're having problems motivating themselves. And you have to... Oh, this was at San Diego Comic-Con. Yeah. You gotta love drawing. You gotta love storytelling. You gotta love art. If you don't, it's gonna be a rough road. Because as a professional artist, you are not always working on stuff that you are either projects that you... Not every project that you work on is a dream project. There are going to be times where you're going to get an assignment and you might not be a big fan of that. So part of it is also finding other things, small things, and being motivated to... it's not like, man, every day I want to draw. Every day I got to draw. You know, it's not necessarily that kind of level of enthusiasm every time. But look, you have to... I tell a lot of young artists, treat it as if any other kind of craft, right? I mean, it's a craft, right? Treat it as if you think about a professional athlete. So LeBron James, Kobe Bryant. And maybe not even like a LeBron James or Kobe Bryant, but maybe like the 10th, 11th, 8th, 9th, if you're in the starting five, if you're the first man off the bench, the sixth man, or if you're the 10th guy, 11th or 12th guy on the team, you might not be getting that minutes, but you're still pro. All of these athletes, professional athletes, started at a very young age playing sports. So there is a level of time needed to build hand-eye coordination, strategy, thought process, brain processing. And so it takes a lot of time, right? So every time you start drawing, not every drawing that you do is going to be in a museum or in a book or used for print or illustration. A lot of times you're going to make a lot of mistakes. Even myself as a professional, I still make a ton of mistakes. Look at how much I erased and redrew this a couple of times already. So as a professional athlete too, if you look at it from a basketball perspective, not every time they play is a game, right? How many times does an athlete, a professional athlete, high school athlete, how much of it when they play is actually practice? How much of those practices are filled with things that are not as glamorous as a slam dunk or a three-point shot to win the game? Most of the time it's dribbling, it's passing, it's boxing out, it's doing different drills, it's doing defensive slides up and down the court until your hamstrings and legs are so sore you can't even walk up and down stairs afterwards. Some of it is like running. You're jogging. You're doing endurance drills. You're dribbling with both hands on two balls. You're never going to do that in a real game, but what does that do? That helps you gain by dribbling two balls at the same time. Hand-eye coordination, dribbling skills, ability to use your brain to process both hands moving at the same time, controlling different things. Everything has a specific reason to it. So it's all practice. And unless you are like Allen Iverson, where you are so extremely talented, but even Allen Iverson, when he was young, still had to practice. It wasn't until he got to the pros, when he became a professional, that then practice became a different level of work. And that's something that I think especially younger artists need to understand, that when Allen Iverson gave that famous... Oh, the birds are up here. Ooh, could we have another opportunity to win? When Allen Iverson gave that famous practice, he was already a pro. I think they had already, if not gone to the NBA Finals already. So that's a whole other different level, right? When you're young, you're starting out, you do have to practice. You do have to play a lot of games. You do have to lift weights. You do have to eat properly. You have to train yourself in entirety. So sometimes for an artist, well, what's dribbling, what's passing, because if I'm doing this kind of drawing, this is like a slam dunk, right? Actually, I don't even like this drawing anymore. I might have to start over. Better on this side, maybe. Maybe that's just the angle, too, of the camera. So what is dribbling or passing or defensive slides for an artist? Well, it's sitting down, maybe drawing circles. Or drawing, if you have a can of soda on the table, drawing from real life. The more you draw, it becomes a muscle memory. I remember now what a can looks like from pure memory. Now, there's also specifics to the can. The lid. Not only the flip lid thing, but how it attaches. And there's usually a couple lines. It's the dark. There's a lip thing here. So the more you study these things, details, and then based on if there's a light source coming this way, you know that this line is going to be a little bit darker. This inner line is going to be a little bit darker. It's going to be a little bit here. This is all from memory, but this is also from training. This is having spent time putting in the hours, drawing stuff that's boring, right? Everybody wants to shoot three-pointers. Everybody wants to do slam dunks or trick shots. Nobody wants to work on the dribbling stuff. But I will bet you, when Allen Iverson was young, he spent days dribbling. Spent days dribbling around, walking around. If he's going to school, if he's going anywhere with his friends, he had a basketball on him. He's dribbling, he's doing all these things. So that by the time he became a professional, around 20, 18, 19, 20, he spent 1 year at Georgetown. So 18, became a pro maybe at 19. He had accumulated all these 10,000 hours of proper training. And so even this is like a little wonky. And if that's, depending on if it's further up, if the light source is further up, the shadow is going to be a little bit smaller. If the camera is down here, it's going to cast a wider shadow. So there's all these things. Oh, you guys can't even see it. Doing all that drawing of the can, nobody can see it. Come on. You guys got to help me out a little bit. So anyways, all these hours of practice will eventually pay off. They are gruesome. Nobody likes to lift weights. Well, some people do, but I didn't like lifting weights. And I certainly didn't like running or jogging. But you have to do all that stuff. You have to do that to train and build endurance. Lift weights makes you stronger, makes you also endurance, but also when you play, there's an incremental difference. As a basketball player, especially as a guard, a shorter, smaller guy, you get knocked around a lot. If you're stronger, you have more body control, you can drive to the hole on a layup, get hit with a foul, and still finish. If you don't lift weights and you're weak, that stuff is, you're going to lose balance. You're not going to be able to finish. There might be a particular level of talent that might get through a little bit more, but in the long run, um, in the NBA too, you think about usually some of the strongest guys you think are the biggest guys, but actually on these teams, um, some of the strongest guys are the smaller guys. I used to be a ball boy for the Miami Heat when I was in high school, and then during the summers in college, I would go back and help some of the players work out and train. Um, One of the guys, Vernell Coles, who went to Virginia Tech, was I think one of the all-time leading scorers there. He played for the Miami Heat. He was a point guard, I think 6'1", 6'2", maybe 6'3". But he's a smaller guy compared to everyone else. But he could outbench everybody on the team. Outbench all the power forwards, outbench all the centers. And it showed in his game where he was always one of the leading scorers on the team because he could finish. And with that strength also carried a lot of other things. So translate into art, it's not the physical strength of art, but there is an aspect of the game that will help you as an artist moving forward. Sean, the other thing is too, if you want to keep drawing, if you want to get back into it, get a sketchbook. I have a bound sketchbook. You can get a small one, 8.5 by 11. Carry that with you, 9 by 12. Carry that with you everywhere, and just sketch. So it's available to sketch, available to draw. You have to build that. Even for myself, if I don't draw for a few days or a week, because I've been traveling or doing other things, it takes me a little bit while. Like this one's a little rough. I didn't draw yesterday. I think I might have did a little drawing on Friday. I'm still not even feeling this. There's just something off with this drawing. Bring a sketchbook. If you have an iPad Pro, I know nowadays on tech you can draw on those things. If you have a few minutes, do a doodle. If you have a few minutes, it's not even doing a doodle from your head. Just draw stuff around you. Draw the building, draw the room, draw your feet, draw your hands, draw the table. All of these things, the more you draw, whatever you draw. I'm just scratching, I'm not picking. Because there's nothing on here. The more you draw, the better you're going to get. Alright? Yep, see? Travis can attest to that. Sean Chen has a sketchbook that he still brings around, and he does all these drawings in it everywhere you go. And Sean, actually, if you follow him on Instagram, Sean Chen Art, I believe it is, he does drawings on airplane barf bags. As he used to travel so much, that was the only blank piece of paper that would be around him, and he would do these drawings, and now he's turned it into something that's been fun, a lot of fun. So if you go check out Sean Chen's Instagram, Sean Chen Art, you can see some of those barf bag drawings. They are ingenious. Travis, you should start drawing on that. So that's right, Yojimbo. Thank you for showing up, Yojimbo007. Yes, you got to draw stuff that you don't like. You got to draw. You can't just draw things that you like. It's you have to expand your portfolio, your base, your range. I speak at art schools a lot, and a lot of times these animation majors students, they all have these character designs, and I think what's itching is maybe the mustache is going up into the beard, into the nose. Yeah, so these animation students, they have all these figure designs or character designs, turnarounds, all this stuff. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty nice, it's interesting. But do you have any environment designs? None. Most of them don't have any. I'm like, let's be realistic here, all right? Character designs, drawing people, this is the most fun. But if you think of yourself as applying for a job, you're not the only. You're applying for a job that already has people in positions already. So, if I'm working at a company and I'm a designer there, and I'm an art director or I'm a lead or senior designer, and we have this project coming up, I'm gonna do the character designs because I'm working it. That's the most fun. I'm not gonna give the most fun assignment to a new kid coming out of college. I'm gonna give them the crap stuff, right? And that's designing the environments. That's designing the rooms or the vehicles or all these things that, not even the vehicles. Vehicles are probably more fun. I'm going to have them design all the rooms and landscapes and all this stuff. So where are you going to be able to get your first work? It's going to be a lot of it is in environment, perspective, creating spaces. And if you don't have that, and you're only going for the very cream top, your character designs have to be so amazing that it's going to be better than some guy that's been a pro for 5, 10, 15, 20 years in the industry. And the chances of that, that's as if you were going to be drafted in the NBA and you say you're going to be better than LeBron James already. The chance of that happening is very slim. So, it's something that I would, as an advice to all young artists, perspective, environments, learn to draw more than this stuff here. This is fun. This is fun for me. This is fun for you. This is fun for everyone. We're humans. Drawing other human-like characters, very enjoyable because we can relate. Right now, as I'm drawing Crush, I'm relating to her like sense of like, whatever. She's like this. Her attitude. Man, this drawing is just coming apart. Man, I gotta go. Now I'm going on a rant. And the birds are up here, but they're inside the cage eating. So give me a sec. I'm gonna close the door. Okay. They're safely inside the cage. So you guys are no longer eligible to win the prize. So Jimbo, you came late. There is a new wrinkle to the stream. The birds were out flying around the house today. I live in a loft. It's a pretty big space. If they land, both of them have to land on my shoulder at the same time. They could be, one could come and then the other can land afterwards. If they both land on my shoulder at the same time, everybody that's on the stream that texts something in the chat room at that time will win a print from me. However, the caveat to this is, again, if they're on my shoulder, but then they take a dump, like they poo, then nobody wins anything. It negates the whole, that round. I think that's fair, right? I mean, I get shitted on. You guys don't get anything. But if they land and they're, hanging out, which has happened. They don't shit all the time on my shoulder. Occasionally. But they land, everybody gets a prize. I actually even went and put one on my shoulder to see if the other one comes, so everyone wins. It's like a little bit of a cheat, but the other one decided to not fly on my shoulder. But I will do this again. I'm going to try to stream. I need to stream a couple more times this week. I'm getting a new camera on Tuesday, hopefully. Yeah, because right now this camera is my iPhone. So hopefully I get another camera. Hopefully the computer will be able to read it, process it. Because it's going to be the same C922 Logitech. If that happens, yeah, shit on dad. That happens a lot. See how that works. Maybe you get to see me in a clearer way. And hopefully next week, sometime in early August, I'll be able to stream on a live show. So, with that, let me turn on the awesome music that I have prepared. And Yojimbo, you should stay on and watch the credits, my friend. Uh, I think you will get a you get a mention in the credits for your help in terms of, let's see. Do you guys hear music? Thanks, Toro 1021, but I'm actually not very happy with this drawing. I think her torso is too far out. That might be it. The clavicle should be really more of an angle. This arm needs to, I think, probably come up a little bit. Yeah, some of this too, I just gotta get used to drawing and talking. I'm usually drawing and chirping along with the birds. But that would be too embarrassing to show the world. So, and also the angle that I'm sitting at. Ugh. The more I draw, the worse it gets. Thank you for joining me. The music the file is playing. However, I'm gonna have to ask you later on, Yoji. I might need to get another thing to accept the audio from inside the computer, or if the speakers have to be on. All these technical stuff. Why can't we just plug it in and make it work? Alright guys, but thank you so much. Stay tuned. Give a follow if you can up there. Somewhere on the screen. Give a follow. I'm going to try to stream again early next week. If you have questions, save them up. Toro 1021, thank you for the follow. Excellent. Nice. Hopefully the next stream I'll be able to fix this drawing and figure out what's wrong with it. But here's the thank you menu, and make sure I'll see you guys again soon.